Right, we live. Black Authentic Truth. Let me just test this out real quick. Testing, testing. Think we good. Testing, testing. We good. Hey, what's good with y'all, man? This is Thawahgabar for Black Authentic Truth. And this is going to be a quick live, but I wanted to touch on Chud the Power Bottom. I wanted to touch on Chud the Power Bottom. And also, there's a short story that did not get any national news. Now, you know, yesterday there was a story with a black man that went on a shooting rampage. That was like national news. Well, there was also a story where a white man went into a supermarket and unalived two people. And in the midst of that, two black men stopped him, right? Two black men took it upon themselves to subdue this man and de-escalate the situation. So off top, I just want to say that it's been a rough couple of days, especially with black people. It's been a rough couple of days, right? Because what has been happening is you got this guy named Chud the Builder that was just walking around and basically trying to provoke black people to go ham on them, calling them the N-word and saying that it's a constitutional right, it's freedom of speech, calling, you know, I done seen them talk to old black people, to young black people, to YNs, right? And many people have been very, well, in the black community, a lot of people have been very emotional. And what I mean by that, a lot of us reacted in the way that he wanted us to react, or in the way that a white supremacist would expect you to react when they call you a monkey, when they say you chimping out, when they say the N-word. They're looking for a response because they already know the level, or should I say the weight that those words carry with black people. So they're looking for a response. And Chud the Builder, or should I say now Chud the bottom, the power bottom, Chud the back builder, after what has just come out. You know, Chud was looking for that. He's looking for that. He on that type of time. He on that type of energy. So one thing I learned, especially being in the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, I learned that you got to control your emotions. You can't be swayed by words or what people say. Now, Charleston White came out and said something. I'm going to get to the story, but Charleston White, I want to touch on this. Charleston White said that he loved Chud the Builder because what it shows you is that black people are scared of white people because nobody is doing nothing to him. Nobody is putting hands on him, and he can walk right up in black people's face, black men, right in their face, and call them the N-word and talk to them like we back in the days of Jim Crow. And to a certain extent, that might be true. You know what I mean? I'm not going to, you know, say that he's totally wrong. But in the big picture, I mean, we already know that. We already know that we carry a lot of self-hatred in the black community. We already know that. That's not nothing new. This talking point, well, not that, but the talking point that black people, black men will kill their own, but won't do nothing to police who violate them, has been a talking point for a very long time. I'm sure many people done heard that before. So that ain't nothing new. And Chud ain't showing nothing new, but he's just showing that he's ignorant. Now, he's blunt. He was blunt with what he was saying. Whereas somebody like Charlie Kirk was more refined in his racist talking points. And you see what happened to Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, as far as reacting to a racist, I mean, we can go back toe to toe, word for word. But as far as reacting violently, that is something as black men, as black people, we don't have to do. You don't need to do, because what goes around comes around, and you reap what you sow. And if something like that happened, what we saw happen to Charlie Kirk, who was, you know, talking statistics and more refined with the racism, what more to something like what happened to Chud the Builder, where black people ain't even got their hands on it. Okay. Now, today it came out that Chud the Builder shot someone and shot himself. So we already knew this is what it was going to come to. I don't know the details. I don't know if it was a black man that assaulted him and then he shot him, or it was a white man. I don't know. But we do know what the result of this type of energy is. We know that. We already knew that was coming. And I said myself that, it'll be amazing to see, but just like what happened to Charlie Kirk, everybody would think like it would be somebody from the minority community that would do something to him, that would physically, hurt him or something like that. But it turned out it was a white person. And I thought that's what the exact same thing that would happen to Chud the Bottom Builder, because I seen videos of him also going up to white people and calling them the N-word. L. Jackson said domestic terrorism. That's right. Like, you may have the freedom to walk up to people and say what you want, but you don't have the freedom from how those people are going to react. You don't have the freedom of consequences. You're not resolved of the consequences that can come from your actions. And that's anybody. And this is just another thing to show you, to go into the mind of a white supremacist, to show you that you don't find black people, you don't find brown people walking around trying to provoke and incite white people on purpose, on a stream. You just don't see that. That's not the type of energy that black people are given. What you do see is us black people clowning around, doing pranks and doing, sometimes weird stuff for views and to build a platform, but you don't see stuff like this where people are making a targeted effort to provoke people in such a controversial way, in such a racist way. Black people don't do that. We don't do that. You know what I mean? And another thing I want to go into, all of this is tied into an inferiority complex. When you talk about white males that are white supremacists, a lot of what they're dealing with is looking at black men be desired by all women, black men being known for having, bigger private parts, for lack of a better term. It's all this self-projection. And it's funny because the black woman came out, many white people have said this, but now a black woman, a sister, came out a few days ago and said basically she had been pegging Chud the Builder. And so you have somebody like Chud the Builder, right, that goes around and what you think is he's a complete racist, but meanwhile he's allowing a black woman to stick some foreign object up his back, up his behind. You can't make this up. But when you find a white supremacist or a racist, what you also find is sexual deviancy. What you also find is white men that like to watch interracial porn. What you also find is white men that, don't know what to do with their lives and feel hopeless. And so all of that is a combination of what you find when you find people like Chud the Builder, white supremacists. That's what incorporate. All of that comes together. All right. So I think I said everything I want to say on Chud the Builder. Like I said, this was going to be a quick live. I appreciate brothers and sisters because, I just went live. I needed to get this out because I know that I will forget my talking points. The story will get old. And so it needed to be addressed. But it has come to the point where he has actually shot someone. He always threatened people. He would provoke them. And when they run up, he say, come on, I got 18 for you. Come on, nigger. I got 18 for you. Or he'd hold a can of mace, bear mace. You know what I mean? Which eventually, like I said, you moving with that type of energy, it's almost like black people don't even have to do anything. It would be one of their own kind that will press the button on him. So I don't know. I do not know what was the who he got into it with today, where he shot himself and shot them. I don't know if it was a black person or a white person, but I can say that we already knew this is what this was coming to. He also made a video just yesterday, I believe, that he said this FBI visited him and told him he need to tone it down. He need to calm down because it can only go one or two ways. Either he going to get popped or he's going to take somebody's life by the way he's going. So he needs to tone it down. And then this happens today. So yeah, man, give me y'all thoughts on that. Y'all let me know. Y'all can let me know. I know brothers and sisters, they'll see this live later on. But I'm going to move on to this story, which is the main topic of me going live. And this story did not even get any play. It did not. No one talked about it. Okay. I didn't see it on national news. Maybe it's being ran now. But what I did see, but what is going around is Chud the Builder on social media. And also there was I believe it was in Cambridge yesterday. There was a shooter suspect, a black man that was shooting randomly in the streets. Maybe y'all seen that video. I know it was on national news, but I heard nothing about this Las Vegas shooting. So let me just share this real quick. Share this screen so y'all can see this story. All right. Just give me a second. Put this up here. All right.
Darius Alston, Darius Alston.
Mercani Clark, Merconie, Clark, Clark.
Guys, you're here outside the scene of a grocery store turned crime scene. And we understand that you guys were there when something really incredible happened. What happened today?
There you go.
So let me just see real quick, because this is the story where these brothers are telling a story. You can go see this for yourself, but let me just go back real quick and get a news story, something brief that let me see.
Breaking news, we're learning more about that shooting we told you at the top of the newscast at that Smith's grocery store on Maryland Parkway in Silverado Ranch. We're going straight to 8 News Now reporter Ryan Tizmaneski, who is there right now. Ryan, what do we know so far?
Ozzy, we don't have much information right now. I did speak to some people out here who were just going into a restaurant. They were telling me that a security guard actually told them that a person went into the Smiths and was firing some gunshots. That's really all we know right now. So we're working to learn more information from Metro as this continues. But you can just see the whole lot for this Smiths is completely blocked off. We've got multiple ambulances and first responders out here. Metro is actively working the scene, blocking off this parking lot. There was a woman trying to get to her car earlier. She was just taking pictures just in case
what I'm gonna do,
she needs them. We can see a lot of people over around.
This is the story, right? This is the Smiths. I've never heard of Smiths, but of course, you know, when you don't live in the same state, maybe y'all heard of a Smiths, but this happened at a Smiths store. It is a grocery store in Las Vegas. Armed man came in there shooting, right? He came in there shooting, and he killed 2 people. And these two brothers basically stopped him. They stopped him. They took the gun away. They held him till police came. And I'm going to play some of this.
In the grocery store, buying some stuff for my truck. About to go deliver a load later today. Pass him on the beverage hall. I'm going this way. He's coming that way. I'm on my way on the checkout. I hear 2 to 3 shots. Bam, bam. Immediately, I go down to my knees, and I look around. I see a lot of people running. Employees running, customers running, and I don't really believe it. Then I hear another ring of shots, probably around 5 to 6. Bah, 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 bah. That's when I go between the checkout counter, hop over the little out gate thing, and I hit to the right. I didn't even see him no more in the store. As I'm on to the right, a bunch of customers and employees are coming out, and I'm like, get to the side. I'm like, get to the side. So I'm telling everybody to get farther towards the pharmacy part where they come in. I'm like, come over here. So for some reason, one of the employees, a lady that works there, that I didn't even know who she was. She was in a gray shirt. She yelled out, "There is a shooter." So while she yells out, "There's a shooter," I don't know what happened. I just walked over there towards him. He pulled out his gun. We're rough. We're wrestling for the gun. I'm trying to keep it from pointing to me. He's trying to point it this way, point it that way. So as I grab the gun, we fall to the ground, and that's when I'm like, "Help, help." So I'm pulling the gun away from him. That's when he comes over, hits him, strikes him, keeps him on the ground. I move all the weapons and pull him away from him. I didn't even know until after I pulled the bag of weapons away from him. He had other weapons in the in his backpack.
There you
So
go.
yeah.
So I was actually leaving my barbershop, coming here to help my girl out get sodas. I got a barbershop right here, Diamond Cuts Barbershop. So as I was leaving there, I was coming this way, and I noticed we get to the checkout line and the shots firing off, bow, bow, bow. So I had my two little ones with me. So what got me was, when I seen that happen, I'm like, okay, so I get them all to cover. I get them outside. So as my girl, she's like, "Oh, I left my phone. I left my phone and my keys. So I go back in there and try to receive her property. So as I'm getting it, I see her, the lady, the worker. She's like, "Oh, that's the gunman right there. Watch out, watch out." So I'm over here. I'm trying to get it for cover now. I'm trying to get for cover. So when I seen that, so I noticed Clark. He walks up and he grabs the dude like he's trying to get the gun away from him. So when I seen Clark, I go over there and I'm helping Clark out now, because now Clark's life is in danger. So now I go to help Clark out. Boom. So when we get him on the ground and all that stuff, Clark pushes his bags out of the way, gets his guns away from there and everything. I'm still on there beating this guy up, kicking him up,
That's all we want to do is
beating him, everything. Just trying to get him away from this bag.
Because he tried to get back up.
Just to try to get away from the bag. As soon as we did that, the cops pull up. Boom. They all flying around. They pull up. We stopped what we was doing, and they took in their hands.
Yeah, they got here quick.
They got here real quick.
Clark, I see. Can you show us your hand? Can you just hold your hand up for us? What happened?
This was from me keeping him from pointing the gun at me because we was wrestling. And after he pulled it out of his shirt, I'm holding the gun, keeping the barrel pointed away from me. He's trying to point it towards me. I'm trying to pull it away from him. As I'm doing that, I'm making sure the weapon is not pointed at me. As we were struggling, that's when I turned over sideways like this, and that's how I got this.
He got scraped all up on the shoulder.
And as that happened, if he wouldn't have came to help,
Clark would have been gone.
Yeah, I would have been gone.
Clark would have been gone.
I had the gun in my hand, trying to keep it from him from pulling it. After I fell with the gun, he came and struck him.
And it was
took
over.
the gun, got away from him, got the bag. Didn't know, like I said previous.
Well, shout out to those brothers, man. Shout out to those brothers. Listen. Man, you never know what could happen at any given day, any time of the day when you out living your life, going to the store, going to get your mail, going to pick up your kids. This is the world that we live in right now. We live in a world where you have people, like I was just talking about, white supremacists. This was a white man, right? You have people that just decide that they just want to go into a supermarket and shoot people up, right? And you better hope that there are some black men like those two brothers wherever you at. It takes a lot of bravery. It takes a lot of courage, okay? It's selfless. It's not self-preservation. Well, it kind of is, because you're like, well, if I don't take care of this situation, when the gunman does see me, he might start shooting at me. So let me get to him before he can see me and let me neutralize this threat. You know what I mean? I know, like, they teach you, like, if there's an active shooter in the workplace or something like that, you should hide. And I agree with that. You should hide. You should hide if you can. But there's situations where, like that brother said, he said, I don't know what came over me after the employee said, there go the gunman. He said, I don't know what came over me. He took it upon himself to say, you know what, let me stop this assailant. Now, the flip side to that, if that other brother didn't come, like he said he would have been gone, because he was struggling with him with the gun. And by the time, that brother is seeing this, if he don't get there to start pummeling on him, start beating on him, the shooter would have shot him. He would have been able to, maneuver the gun to shoot the other brother. These brothers are superheroes and they deserve praise. And the reason why, I wanted to talk about this, I'm about to wrap it up, but the reason why I want to bring this out is because Black men are superheroes. Point blank, period, man. And you see these Black men, right? They ain't getting no national news like the Black man that was a shooter that, I don't know I think he shot 2 people. He didn't kill anyone, but he was subdued in Cambridge. I don't remember this. Is it Cambridge, New Jersey? Maybe y'all can fact check for me. But that happened yesterday. It was on national news. This did not get no news. Even right now on social media, Chud the Builder is getting more airplay than 2 Black men who were heroes, who saved a lot of people. Because a lot of people, their first aim is going to be to go into a shock. They're in the supermarket, they're going to go into a shock. And they're going to be an easy target for some gunman to just gun them down and take their life. 90% of the time, that is what is going to happen. You got a lot of middle-aged folks. You got a lot of elderly folks in the supermarket. You got a lot of people that just ain't going to know what to do. And these brothers took action, and these brothers should be praised as heroes. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because this shows you right here, this is a perfect example that Black men could police their own neighborhoods. That Black men could lead their own neighborhoods. You don't need law enforcement. You can be the law enforcement in your own neighborhood. That's the point of me bringing this story, and also to bring some more light to it, so people can see. But that is the truth. We can do it as Black men. We can police our own neighborhoods. Excuse me. We can fix our own neighborhoods. And you think that if Black people don't band together under righteous laws and rules and regulations, and we come together and we say, this is our Constitution, this is how we're going to run our community, this is how we're going to fix our community based on a level of standards and morals, and then have the enforcement of Black men. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Like, our community could change overnight. It could change overnight. Like, you can't tell me that our community can't change overnight with what you just seen. That takes a lot of heart and soul. But we praise a nigga running up and down a football field as having a lot of heart and soul. He's a warrior. He running through people. He got courage. He doing this and that. Nah, that's courage right there. That story right there is courage. That's courage in its purest form, especially when you got a family. Both of these men got families going about their day. One brother runs a barbershop, another is a truck driver. They both got families trying to handle business. That's selfless, right? Because think about it. Most people would say, well, shit, I got a family. I gotta take care of this. I'm trying to get back to the house. Most people would think like that. I'm not mad at a person for thinking like that, but I applaud these brothers for the courage that they showed in that act of bravery yesterday. So with that, y'all, I'm about to wrap it up. I'll be back this Sunday. Of course, I'm going to be dropping videos, maybe not on Black Authentic Truth. You can check me out on Facebook. I drop a lot of reels and stuff like that. But shout out to these brothers once again, and shout out to brothers and sisters that rock with me in this live. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.